people around the world, and many of them have no concept whatsoever of the United States as a cheese producer. And if I shall confess, I used to be one of them. I don't know if you can tell, I haven't talked long enough yet, but if you keep listening, maybe you can tell that I am not, by my accent, that I'm not American. I was born and raised in France, and the country is probably one of the best countries to know the French culture. We're pretty arrogant when it comes to cheese. We're pretty cheese snobs, and so we think the cheese in France are the best. And we think, or I guess we assumed, that we are the largest cheese producer in the world. And why is that? It's because everybody around the world knows about US cheese. You know, they're very popular. Well, now you realize US cheese and US food was through the quick service, and so really had no idea. So I wanted to, overall, the dairy industry, the US dairy industry produces about 91 million metric tons of cheese, of milk currently, and that makes us the largest, the single largest milk producer in the world. The forecasts are showing that our production is going to keep on growing about 2 to 3% a year in the coming years. And why is that? It's because we've got the land, we've got the infrastructures, and we have the technology to do so. Including the feed that is given to them, it really allows them to be happy and produce very high quality milk. We produce milk all over the United States, and we also produce, most of our cows do not graze, they eat feed. So that really allows us to have a consistent production of milk that doesn't really vary very much in volume and in quality. Farms by the driver, and so that when you deliver to the plant actually can test every one of these samples and make sure that none of the milk that's in that batch is bad. And if it is dumped. And the farmer that is responsible for it has to pay. So the domestic market is a very important market in the US. We're a big country with a lot of people to feed. So a lot of $11 billion in sales of dairy products. That's, I guess, more than twice 28 million metric tons of dairy products around the world. And again, that's doubled what we were doing not even 10 years for us as a destination. And in fact, Southeast Asia is actually our second largest, our $2 billion ingredients for a long time, and we've been very successful at it. And as you can see here, over half to 3/4 for the lonely cheese here. As you can see, we're little infants. We're just starting, and we're only people are looking to not having more money on the supply side. It's there's a few suppliers of dairy, but we're getting constrained because there's so much more demand than their strategies away from cheese, and they're really spending more time producing powders. And then for it's really coming to be the supplier that my production that we have right now. 54% to be exact. And our share of it's not a committed supplier, they're not coming often and all of that. And it might have been true a few 21 million metric tons of cheese is being produced roughly every year. And the United States, then Germany, France, and Italy combined. In the US, our very talented cheesemakers. And we have some even very high-end products, as you will see throughout the day. So we produce, obviously, Americans, we do everything big. We produce cheese in very large plants, enclosed vats. This is a cheese vat over here, that's food service. But production in the US is not just about that. We do actually have a lot of smaller cheesemakers that have open vat environment, in aging caves. We do have a lot of cheesemakers like this. So it's not just about the big plants. We really have, I guess from this picture, it's like from bulk to artisan, we really have everything you need. One-stop shop here in the West at the last edition. including 21 gold. And the World Championship Cheese Contest, it's actually a competition that takes place in the United States. The judges actually come from all over the world. So you've got people from Europe, you've got judges from Oceania, Asia, that come to this event and test the cheese. And you know, the U.S. cheesemakers are really doing well compared to all the others from all the cheese. Well, we export mostly cheddar and Gouda, for example, that are basically used for processed cheese making. Also, Gouda is used in market like Mexico, cutting to us. Fast forward to 2013, as I mentioned, over 300,000 metric tons of cheese being exported, so I think that's like 7 times the amount that we did 13 years ago. And now, as you can see, the dynamics of where the cheese is going has changed, has shifted. You know, we're still selling to the markets close to us, but the increased proportion of the cheese that's going out actually is now going out to markets such as the Middle East and North Africa, which is really an increase from 13 years ago, and Asia. As you can see, like a third of our exports goes to your region. So you're really an increasingly important customer of ours. And looking at export to Vietnam, so it's, as Dwight mentioned, it's not much yet, but you know, it's very inconsistent. But as of the 7th of this year, we actually had imported almost 91% of the volume that you imported last year. So you know, we're on track of surpassing that number for last year. And you know, that's why we're very excited to be here and really, you know, introducing you to our industry so you can get to know us and you can get to buy from us and forge long-term relationships. So, in conclusion, I'd like to again thank you for being here today and spending time out of your busy schedule to be with us, discover us and our product. We have a nice array of U.S. suppliers with us today that have made the trip all the way from the United States to introduce their company. And so, without any further ado, I shall call on the first person to present, and that will be Gordon Craig from AgroPoor. So thank you very much for your attention, and you know, I look forward to talking to you throughout the day.